show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at hivemindcrm.io.
Hey, we did it! Episode 200. It's here. This is it. You made it. Congratulations. I have it's Daniel Martinez here, host, and your co-host here, Anthony Gaona, of course, as always. But episode 200. It's been a crazy year. We launched our podcast first week of September, and we're now in second week of June, and we're in episode 200. So we've been doing this pretty hard, providing a lot of value. Hopefully people out there will enjoy all the value we bring in our own little way. But we made it to episode 200, and it's a goal of ours to hit 300 by the end of this year. So we'll see what happens. But a long way to go, but it's just doing the work, man. There's a quote Anthony likes using is Young Guns. He says, "I'll make you famous." And
man.
It's a funny quote, and he mentions it all the time when I'm with him. But it's one of those things where if you ever wanted to be in a position to provide as much value as possible, it's just doing stuff that other people don't want to do, and that's where the podcast came about. So if you ever wanted to make a difference in the world and make a big impact, just start producing content.
No, man. Hey, yeah. And big hat tip to you, man, because you're the one that kind of masterminded this thing, put it together. I think the podcast website is amazing. If anybody has a podcast and you're not, if you don't have a website where you're kind of spinning that content and showing it and all that, have it on display, Daniel put together an amazing, it's like one of the best, probably the best podcast website I've ever seen before. And yeah, you were the driver behind this force, because I'm over here doing my stuff and I'm like, I don't got time for no podcast. And you're like, no, we got to get episodes. So yeah, man, you pushed it, you brought it to life. We have a lot of people that have messaged us and be like, hey, man, I just binge watched and listened to all your episodes. Freaking amazing, game changer, life changer. Even people that are already seasoned in real estate, even if they're land or not, people have messaged us and said, hey, yeah, this podcast is life changing. So if you followed us along this far and you made it this far along of the journey, we just appreciate you. We've hoped that we've been able to bring some value to you. If you want to be featured on the podcast, if you've had success based on what you've learned here or things that you've learned from the Hive Mind in general, yeah, we would love to hear from you. We would love to interview you. But yeah, episode 200, man. It's hard to imagine. I want to say something about Daniel, like I said, because I give him full credit for this. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just the janitor. But the rate that he's producing this content is outpacing pretty much every other real estate investor out there that actually has a podcast. So my hat's off again to you, Daniel. You're crushing it, dude. You're the reason that this thing has been brought to life. So let's rock and roll. Episode 200.
Well, I thank you for saying that. And like I said, one of the biggest reasons why I went so hard with this is that if you're going to do something, you might as well go all in it with it. And this is one of the things that it only helps us, and it's only going to pay off in the long run. So I'm like, let's just make a difference and see what comes out of it. And I think we have listeners like in almost 20 countries now. And we're making a difference, man, somewhere. We've had some really cool hosts, man, over the last 100 episodes. From Tim Bratz, Ricardo Rosales just released this week as well. It's just been a lot of like meaningful conversations, and you really don't have that unless you have a podcast. So everybody out there, if you want to learn from the best, and you want to have that one-on-one conversation, podcasting is where it's at, man. It kind of shortcuts all those things and questions you want to know and learn. You can interview people and ask those questions live. I mean, we talked to chief marketing officers, like 2 or 3 of them already, of like multi-million-dollar companies. Tim Bratza has $400 million in real estate. Ricardo Rosales doing 3 to 4 million a year in wholesale deals. Even down to our clients, we did one. Santana Martinez did 10 deals in 6 months off of Hive leads. So there's a lot of cool people and a lot of cool episodes out there just providing value. John Alexander's, like, we've never actually done a formal interview with John Alexander, but he's coming on the weekly calls, and those have turned into great episodes. So just a lot of people contributing in different ways. We brought on co-hosts Matt Rogers and Frank Spalding. Ariane Villanueva is doing episodes in Spanish for us now, so hopefully we'll be coming out more of those consistently. So keep an eye out for those if you're a Spanish speaker and want to point people in the right direction. We're doing Spanish episodes too, so it's just providing as much value as possible. I actually just met it's crazy. I met the Rich Dad, Poor Dad little section, like one of the speakers for Rich Dad, Poor Dad for Latino here in LA. So I was able to have lunch with him, Ruben Mata. So it's really interesting who you come across through speaking, engaging, creating content. You never know who you're going to come across and who you're going to meet. And it's really through podcasting. Steve Trang is getting on schedule soon. We have Seth Williams coming on, episode 201 to 205, somewhere around there. So there's a lot of cool guests coming on in the future, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Like I said, it's really cool interviewing people that have never done podcasts before, interviewing our clients, interviewing high-level people. You really learn a lot, and you really get to put people in the spotlight that sometimes don't get the spotlight put on them, and that's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I think probably the coolest takeaway that I've had is, it gives you permission, like you said, to ask questions of very high-level people, right? You take a Tim Bratz, you take a Logan Fulmer, and you get to corner them for an hour and then just really just drill in and extract the information that they have. I think it's really cool, not only from a personal gain standpoint, but also we get to share that with the people who actually watch these episodes. And it's pretty cool to like kind of direct the flow, because if you watch somebody being interviewed like that on YouTube, like, I wonder what he would say about this. I wonder if he would have asked him this, So it's pretty cool to be in the driver's seat and to be able to navigate these conversations. You reach out to a Steve Trang and you say, hey man, can we interview you? And you get an hour of his time, which is very, very valuable. Same thing, it's like if you called him and try to get him on an hour-long phone call, that's going to be a feat in and of itself. So yeah, it's really cool to be have a podcast like this. I think we could, to kick it off, man, why don't we talk about the Hive leads? You mentioned Santana Martinez. He's a young kid, 22 years old. He's been around HiveMind since it started. I want to say he got in like in the first 30 or 60 days. Didn't do much at anything. He was just on the podcast. He was on the weekly calls. We have a weekly call on Monday and Thursday every single week since we launched HiveMind. And we just share information, what's working, what to stay away from, how to stay out of trouble, how to not get sued, those kinds of things. We do those live. And I just always saw that he was on the calls, but he never unmuted himself and said anything. He was just listening. So I don't know if he was at work. The guy's a roofer. I don't know that he's necessarily like putting the roofs together, but he does work for a roofing company. So I imagine he was just on his headphones on the job and, listening to the conversations. He reached out to me one day and said, hey, what do I need to do to get some business? So we have a program called Hive Leads. It's the program that I've been running for myself and for mine and Daniel's real estate company since we've started in real estate. And we generate hot seller leads. I mean, you get a text message on your phone and it says, hey, I want to sell my property. So how much easier can you get than that? You're doing your full-time life, your full-time job, doing things that have nothing to do with real estate. You get a message on your phone, somebody's ready to sell right now. I mean, that person just filled out the form like 30 seconds ago. You pick up your phone, you hit dial right from inside of your phone, and you're talking to somebody who it really wants to sell their property immediately, right? Because they came and they sought us out. So if you want to get started in Hive Leads, message us. We've had the best results running about $2,500 a month. And we're going to roll out a softer program that starts you right at about the 1,000-month mark, but we have guaranteed results at $2,500 a month. So we're only taking limited spots for that. So if anybody wants to learn more about how you can create 6 figures and multiple 6 figures a year passively in the real estate business, message Daniel or myself, and we will put you on game.
Hiveleads.io is the website. Hiveleads.io. You can actually schedule and get a hold of us directly just by going through that website, hiveleads.io. If you really want to check out Santana's testimonial, it's a really great episode. It's like 20 to 25 minutes long. It's episode 185. Go check it out. Santana literally works these leads part-time, did 10 deals in 6 months. Crazy. There's a lot to say that, I mean, when you're talking to motivated sellers that are inbound, you're going to close more deals. It's just going to happen. Yeah. So it's one of those things where I'm excited to see him flourish and hopefully transition into full-time, which is, let's kind of mention that, man. How many people have we seen transition into full-time hanging around the Hive Mind, man? It's pretty awesome to see, man.
Just for starters, right offhand that I can think of, Mike Novak, Leslie, who's my admin, my sister, Elizabeth Falcone, she quit her job. Evan quit his job.
Gabe.
There's a whole, Gabriel, my nephew. Yeah. So there's just a ton of people that are in our immediate circle and environment that are working the leads that we're helping generate. And more and more of us and people in our immediate circle are quitting their full-time job and becoming full-time real estate investors. So, if you listen to what the gurus say, everybody that's in real estate is a multi-millionaire, right? And there's nothing less than that. But in our immediate environment, the measure of success that we've been able to see is people quitting their full-time job to come do what we're doing now and just hanging out with us, which doesn't feel much like a job at all. The way that we do it, we're not sitting on the dialers for 12 hours. We're not beating up the phones for 8 hours straight. We have a very selective process where we have more of a sniper approach. It's not super high volume like some of the gurus, but it's enough for the people around us to quit their job and do what we're doing full-time. So that's a blessing in of itself. It's pretty cool to watch.
Rose, Sonica, all these people getting even Abdul getting traction from the boot camp. Robert Kerr picking up a deal from Novak just by hanging around the Hive. We've had a lot of cool stories in like the last 6 months.
Scotty and his partner just locked up a nice big deal. So even remote deals that we're working, stuff they've never seen the property. They're not even in Texas. We're not going to go look at the property, and we're getting that contract. That might be into the tune of about maybe 40 to 50K profit, somewhere around there, for their first deal they've done with us.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing what can happen when you put in the right environment. The community has been nuts, man. Even John Alexander just did a deal with Cecil, like 7 Hive users involved, and everybody's getting paid. So there's cool things about community, and definitely come check out the Hive Mind, man. Hive Mind CRM on Facebook is a free group. Definitely provide a lot of value there, and there's a lot of networking opportunities there too.
Yeah, I think that's what's amazing, man. And you'll hear people say it is that, hey, that CRM looks just like every other CRM. Well, so Cecil got a contract. I went out there and saw the land, actually took pictures of it, walked it, gave him a bunch of ideas, checked for utilities, all that kind of stuff. I sent him all the information. It wasn't even my deal. And then when it closed, he sent me $1,000. I'm like, that's pretty good. Not a bad day.
You got paid on it too. That's awesome.
I got some cash too. I didn't even expect it. I just saw $1,000 hit my account. And I'm like, who in the heck just sent me money? And I was trying to go back and just do the flip book in my mind of people that I've helped on deals. And I messaged Cecil. I was like, is this your investment company name? He was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, dude, thank you, man. So I think that's what's cool about the Hive Mind. Say what you will about it, but we do really help our people. We work with our people. We want to see you get deals. We love that you subscribe to the CRM. That's amazing. We appreciate it. But the main thing is we want to do is be able to recycle some of this energy back into the community. We want to help you get traction. Daniel is a genius at this. Like he said, we came up with a concept of, hey, why don't we open up our leads that we're working for ourselves to the public? And then Daniel put together an amazing website already so you can check out within seconds. So having access to things like that, being able to make those types of moves in a very short amount of time, that's all part of what we offer outside of the CRM, partnering with our people, helping us run comps, negotiating. There's a lot of cool stuff that we're doing here that people aren't paying attention to. So in my mind, I'm like, we wish people could see the bigger picture, but if they don't, the people that we already have, the people that love us and trust us, we're doing more deals with them and just we're turning up the tempo with what we got. So it's amazing. We have seen consistent growth since we started, but like I said, nurturing and loving on the people that are already here with us has been a huge part of what makes us so rewarding, and seeing the people around us win makes it amazing. And it gives us energy in the tank to keep on going.
So let's kind of pivot into the bad, because no one talks about the bad. The bad never happens. Like, we as investors never lose money. It never happens. Like, we don't do that, right?
Okay, yeah. So I got some. I got a couple actually that I want to share. Shortcomings. I've recently bought in the last year. Last year it was a small mobile home park with a few mobile homes on it. They needed way more work than we expected. Septic tanks were no good. So what was going to be a quick hotel deal ended up turning to like a full scale remodel. And now we should be having a full price offer coming in on seller finance. They want to put like 50% down. Things like that you come across all the time. Those are the little miscalculations, or where people, like I said, they get online and they just flash the big checks, right, with no context. You don't know how much they put into those deals or how much time and energy went into them. But yeah, buying stuff, that's something that you may have overlooked. You bought it too quick because it seemed like too great of a deal. That's always painful. One of the biggest pain points that I can think of, man, for the hive mind is people that have joined the CRM and then left. Because I'm like, dang, that really does. It makes me feel like they're just missing out. This person is completely missing out. They missed the opportunity. They missed the vision. They didn't get to utilize, what we're doing here. We weren't able to JV with them on stuff. We could not help them set up their marketing, right? Because we know for a fact that the people that work with us directly, we help them set up their marketing. I almost guarantee that you're going to get deals, So I feel like missing those people has been one of my biggest heartaches. I know we can't win them all. But, I wish people knew that what we were doing here is way, way more than a CRM. And if you actually engage, you make use of the tools and the network and the communication that we have, it's a guaranteed win. And in my book, I mean, that's something that always pains me. What do you got, man? Where are you feeling the pain on your side for losses?
I think for the hive mind, it was we had an issue with we've had an issue with like communication. I mean, I think we've kind of dealt with that as needed, but communication, like we really try and provide as much support as possible. The problem is that people don't reach out, and like we don't know people need help if they don't tell us when they need help. So we're gonna try a little bit better with communication. And then the other thing is that everybody thinks that like the base model for HiveMind is like kind of a do-it-yourself model. If you're not gonna dare do it yourself, you can hire us to help you make things you want done. So I think this other thing is conveying that we can actually help you facilitate some of those things you want done specifically or customizably. Because one thing that I've noticed that all of our clients, they all use the system completely different, every single one of them, and everybody wants a little tweak. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention something. Is I'm the prime case of that, right? So everything that we say here, we say it live, we say it recorded because we're not inventing stuff, right? So the simple fact that I myself am not a tech person. I'm never going to be a tech person. I don't enjoy it. I don't like thinking about it. There's no blood flow to that part of my brain. If I strap myself to a chair with handcuffs, I could force it out. I can crank it out, but it's not what I'm good at. It's not my like zone of what they call it, zone of genius. And that is Daniel's zone of genius, right? So whenever we need something for our business, I say, hey, Daniel, can we get this? Hey, can we put this together? And he puts it together so fast. Like I say, like he's like a god at implementation, right? Unmatched in the world, in the universe, of anybody that I've ever met before. And that's something that we actually offer our clients. You don't have to be a tech person. I've heard people say, well, it was really hard. It was a hard learning curve, or, I just couldn't figure it out. Well, it's like, that's what we're here for. Why don't people ask us? Like literally. So just what Daniel mentioned is like, if there's something that you don't know how to do, whether that's marketing, negotiation, seller paperwork, legals, whatever it is, I mean, just you have to reach out to us, or we don't know what hurts. If you go to the doctor, you tell them where it hurts, you tell them what's wrong, and then they try to help you diagnose it. So we are the technicians. We are your doctor. We want to help you put together a successful, amazing system. I feel like we've been a good steward of that. When people reach out to us, we don't just, brush them away. We really do try to get in there and help people troubleshoot and figure stuff out.
Yeah. And like I said, it's I guess it's been a fault of ours because we didn't really communicate it across, but it's just one of those things that's a pain point that we've been dealing with, is that people aren't necessarily getting that value from it because the system can do so much. There's new updates coming out every day, but it's one of those things where if like you don't know how to utilize it, you're gonna miss the opportunity. So like we've had new clients come on, they wanted to build out checkout pages for digital products. That's not normally what we do, but we're doing it. It's one of those things where like we're able to facilitate that need based off of their wants, just because they might be doing something else on the side, and we're able to facilitate those. And like a lot of those things is like, you might not, every real estate investor or land investor might not be doing those things, but if you have that want and you want to do that, we can do it. And it's just one of those things where like you gotta put it out in the world that you have a question, you have help, you can text support. I mean, we get texts every day about, hey, how do I do this? And we'll send them a quick little training video. And it's just one of those things where like we're really here to support you to success, and we really want to make sure you understand that. And that's one of the big things like we're talking about this, is that I want you to know that we're here to support your success in every way possible. And that's one of the things we're really trying to do with Hive leads is hopefully get you into traction quicker. The CRM will, it's already there. It works. There's actual steps. I literally had a client reach out to me. She's like, I didn't get a custom build. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, well, I started building it myself. And I'm like, all you had to do is one little text that I need the custom build, and it would have been done in 30 seconds or less. And it's my issue because we didn't load it onto their account, but I don't know there's a problem unless you tell us. So that client was super mad at us because they didn't get the custom build, and it was just an oversight on our side, and we didn't know. So we're always here to fix the problems if there is any, and we're always here trying to move forward and make things better as possible. With even down to the fact where we had a conversation with a client about texting, and he's like, I think texting is he does a lot of texting. And I'm like, I think texting is doing this and this. I'm like, hey, you're on the front lines of you overcome anything I can on my side. Like, I'm here to help you. I'm not really there for the government side, I'm not going to report you and say you're spamming people. Like, I don't care. I'm here to help you get more business, and that's my job. So if you need help with the systems, you need help with texting, you need help with all that stuff, just message my team. We're here to support you guys, and we're here to make sure you get successful. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, I was on vacation yesterday, and I'm going to finish up the second half of it starting today. We're heading back out. Had to come home for the graduation. But somebody called me. She's like, hey, can you help me with this deal real quick? It's like a $1.5 million deal. And the seller sold it to somebody on seller finance. The person defaulted. But she messaged me yesterday like, hey, can you help me with this deal? I'm on the road. I'm on vacation. My brain's in vacation mode, but I jumped on the phone. And I said, look, I haven't looked at the property. I haven't checked out anything into it, but I'm going to tell you where my brain goes. So I started teaching her about seller finance and wraps and all kinds of stuff. Here's how I would position it. Here's what I would say. Here's what I would stay away from. Just gave her like 5 or 10 minutes worth of just, everything that I could about the property without even having to see the property itself. And she was blown away. She was like, thank you so much. She was like, you're on vacation. You're doing this. She's like, you just dropped so many gems. I could hear her like writing or typing, whatever she was doing. She was scribbling notes. But literally, like if a deal seems super complicated to you, let us take a look at it. If it's bigger, if it's outside of your comfort zone, that's where I come in. I'm happy to chat about this stuff. The more deals that I look at, the more deals that I talk about, then the closer the better I get, and the closer we can get to get you a deal. There are tons of people getting their first deal through HiveMind, and it's just it's an extra service we provide, and we're not charging for it. I don't say, hey, I'm charging you $50 a minute. You just send me a message. I'll take a look at it just as quick as I can. Sometimes I'm busier than others. But yeah, I'm jumping on the phone with sellers for other people on deals that I'm not even going to be a part of. That's what I told her. I said, if there's room for me, include me. If there's no room for me, don't worry about it. If you guys do want a JV on a deal with us, find property in Texas. There's like 30 major cities in Texas. Just grab you the outskirts of any of those cities and hit up some vacant land and send it to us, and we'll see if we can take a look at it. We're here to make you some money. That's another thing about the CRM. It's a little bit higher price than other CRMs, but you close one deal with us, JV one deal with us, and your CRM's paid for 10 years. So that's like a non-issue in my mind. So if people even mention that, I'm like, they don't get it. There's so much value that we're trying to provide. It's crazy. If you know how much people pull on Daniel's time, how much people pull on my time, and we still continue to give it openly. I don't know if that's sustainable forever, but for what we're offering at the price point we're offering at, that's what I tell Daniel. I'm like, if they don't see it, then we don't, we kind of don't want to work with those people anyway.
So I'm going to name drop here. So if you are trying to get your first deal and that's your focus, Brittany Thompson is our we're guiding people to. She's amazing. She's very inspirational. She kind of goes through those first steps of education of how to get your first deal in general. So Brittany Thompson is the one. Definitely reach out to her. She's amazing. She's speaking at our event. Let's kind of pivot into the event.
Okay, cool.
2022 the Hive is Live Summit in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, August 25th and 26th. We're gonna have an amazing time. We have a beachside venue hotel, so you can see it overlook the ocean. Facing the ocean. Pretty cool. I'm excited about this, and we just confirmed that Anthony and my family are both going as well, so we're gonna have the whole fam there for that trip. But we have a freaking awesome lineup of speakers, man. I feel like last year we kind of pulled out of the hat and we called our buddies to come up.
Hey, but those were all the people that helped us piece Hive Mind together, man. The ones that have played, like, they were the key roles, and that's why people came up to us and they're like, hey, this is the best real estate event I've ever been to. I wanted to mention that about this year's event as well, is that we're not just bringing in speakers that just because they're like some guru somewhere, or they get paid to speak or whatever. I mean, these people are actually the people that we've networked with, that we've had on podcasts, that we know personally, that are going to bring the value. This is not mindset crap. Like, hey, you can do it. If you wake up early and drink your protein shake. I mean, these people are the ones that are actually in the trenches, that are killing it, that can bring real tangible knowledge. I challenge you to find speakers that have the knowledge that the speakers that we're bringing this year have. We're just amazed that they and appreciative that they said yes. And the main thing is, again, it's just a time for us to come together for a quick huddle, to work with and speak with the people that have blown us away, and that are givers as well. They continue to help us and pitch in with us. So they've agreed to move themselves across the country to bring value to the Hive Mind users community, so that you can, take your business to the next level. No pom-poms.
Yeah. One thing I think is really cool about our speakers is that they're all doers, and they're all like niche specific. Like Henry Washington's getting funding from the banks, leveraging his content. We got Corey Thompson buying mobile home parks and houses all over Texas,
apartments, land, buying everything,
literally buying everything.
The dude's walking properties every day on live, every day.
It's crazy. And then Andrea Stakes has like 300 VAs or something like that. It's freaking crazy. She runs a VA company business. We have Charles Oglesby, good friend of ours. He's generated like over $1 million in like $99 courses on Twitter. Like, who does that? Charles does. That's all he does.
I'll tell you, a lot of the branding template we use has come from Charles. A lot of the stuff that he pushes. Yeah, Charles Oglesby with the Todd Capital Mastermind. Dude's a beast.
So, like I said, it's just like it's a variety of different types of speakers, and it's really cool. Tim Mai is coming on. Ryan McDonald, who does title and airship and all trouble type properties.
Yeah, he's Logan Fulmer's partner, and he's been my personal mentor since day one. I mean, I talk to Ryan almost every day sometimes. Yeah, so Ryan will definitely bring the heat. When he got off the stage last year, everybody was like, who is that guy? Yeah.
It's funny though, because he's getting some spotlight too, and it's something amazing. I think I really try and focus on that. Is like most companies always have that one leader that gets the spotlight all the time, which is Logan all the time. I'm like, no, we want Ryan. We'll take Ryan. Ryan's not as busy.
Yeah, Logan always helps. He's always helped me since day one as well. So I consider him my mentor. But Ryan's the one that I'm actually on the phone with, like I said, for hours and last minute. And he's saved deals from blowing up in the title company. Like, we had a deal that was closing. The people were at title, and something weird popped up from some historical document that we hadn't seen, and they didn't want to sign. They were like, we're out of here. And as soon as I called Ryan, I'm like, dude, I was like, if you can help me save this deal, I'll send you $1,000 right now. And he looked at it. He goes, call me in 5 minutes. I'm just getting home with groceries or getting home with food or something. Dude actually looked through the documents and calls me back, saved the deal from exploding at the title company on the table. And I was like, dude, send me your Venmo. I'm going to send you $1,000. He's like, no, man, you don't have to pay me nothing. I was like, bullshit. You got some checks coming. So yeah, Ryan, like I said, he's a surgeon, and like, he's like a specialist, right? So I consider him like a neurosurgeon that specializes like in like brain surgery. He's an animal, dude. So we're just for him even accepting to come speak, especially again across the country, much appreciated. Can't say enough about Ryan McDonald.
We can't forget about HPHS.
Oh, Uncle Charles. Everybody knows Uncle Charles.
Yeah, Uncle Charles and Mike, they're both coming out. I'm excited about that. Uncle Charles, he brings like a certain vibe with him everywhere he goes. So it's really cool to experience, because sometimes you don't see that side of him, and he's just very chill.
Dude, talk about specialized knowledge too, man. And then also being a giver. Before I got my first deal, I stumbled into their office like, I got leads, and he went and looked at a house with me. And yeah, one night he stayed, I think it was like a Friday night, and he stayed till like 8:30 at night with me, or 9 o'clock at night, doing the whiteboard with me and just putting me on games. So yeah, HBHS has a special place in my heart. We sponsor their event here in San Antonio yearly, and monthly. And I told them we're just a lifetime sponsor now. We're just never not going to sponsor. So yeah, we love those guys.
Yeah, HPHS is amazing, man. They're doing amazing things. They've been in the real estate game for like 13 years now, 12 years, and really making a dent in San Antonio area, the Texas area too. They're just doing a lot of crazy stuff. But it's cool
Henry
to
Washington.
see, man. Henry Washington. We have there's so many, man. I think we mentioned everybody that we want to mention right now. We have some surprises. We definitely have some surprises for the event coming out. But we're working on a book right now. That's another thing we're working on. But Hive is Live tickets. The hiveislive.com/summit. That's where you get tickets for the event, August 25th and 26th. I forgot to mention that.
It's a small room.
Yeah, it's a small room.
It's probably about as small or smaller than it was last year, just because the venue we wanted, it just had limited seating. They told us it was more, and they kind of lowered it, but we're going to roll with it. So if you want to have a seat inside that room, you need to get there quick. The tickets are selling out pretty fast. I imagine a lot of people aren't going to be able to make it if you delay. So I'd book that ASAP.
Yep.
The book.
Like I said, we're going to do this every year. We have the Hive Mind annual event. So I think next year we're doing Phoenix. So definitely we're doing a lot of cool things and making a tour. But the thing we like to spice it up is that most people are like, I'm going to do it only in Phoenix or only in Chicago. Like, no, we're doing a tour with it. We're going to make some rounds. We're going to make some rounds across the country. So it's pretty exciting to see and exciting to meet. But one thing that really separates our event is we really try and we make it short because I hate events. We do an event, but we don't like necessarily going to events. So we try and make it short. So it's going to be very intense. I think we're doing like 10 to 4 with an hour lunch break. It's like 5 hours with a lunch break. It's pretty amazing. But we really want the whole reason why we do this and the whole reason why people go to events is a network. So that's why we do these events. We really want to drive networking as a whole. And hopefully you can network with our speakers and network with like-minded individuals and hopefully make some business happen just like Mike Novak. And
we had some partnerships formed out there the last time. Yeah, I think that's when I met Chad Dodery in person. I think he kind of liked what the Hive Mind was doing before he joined, and now of course he's a member, and we love Chad. He's killing it in El Paso. So lots of good reason to be at the event in person, to network with the people that you're networking with online, and learn in person from the people that are actually killing it and that have helped us get to where we are and continue to help us accelerate and propel our careers into the future. So the book, man. We are writing a book. We're going to condense everything that we've learned in the last 3.5 years being in real estate. I've been in marketing for 15 years, and we're trying to put it on paper. I think we're about maybe 3/4 of the way done with it. And man, this book wrote itself so fast. I mean, we just have so much knowledge to share, some information that we're compacting into one single source. And I think it's going to be amazing, man. At first, I was kind of like iffy about it. Again, another one of Daniel's amazing suggestions that I was kind of overlooking. I think that's kind of become a trend in our friendship and in our business relationship. Daniel says, hey, we should do this. And I'm like, I don't know, because I kind of have that ADHD. And then so Daniel keeps me on game. And yeah, the book's knocking itself out. Tons and tons of value that I think we're going to bring, all condensed into one spot. I don't know has anybody else covered a book like this, man, that kind of covers, I guess, the gist of not only real estate, but marketing and branding in general?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I think people are usually niche specific. Maybe we're making error by not being niche specific. Who knows? I guess we'll find out later.
Well, I think what's cool about the book is real estate is our niche, right? And of course, software now. But I think that's something that people don't think about. Like, even if you go into a niche, now how do you bring it to life? So I think our book is going to create that. It is real estate based, but the template can be used for any business. So it doesn't matter what type of business you have. You just remove the word real estate, plug your business in, and I think it's going to be a badass book.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. We don't have a working title yet. Maybe we'll release that whenever
the title will write itself.
The title will write itself. We haven't got a title for it yet, but definitely excited about that, man. But episode 200 is a wrap. We've done definitely check us out for the next 100 episodes, whenever those will come out. But we got a lot of guests coming up, lined up, and I guess season 3 of the podcast when we hit the over 200 mark. But, yeah,
lots of big guests on the way. Lots of A+ players have confirmed to be guests on the podcast. So lots of cool episodes coming up.
The show is sponsored by The List Guys. Do you need more leads in your local or virtual market? 1 in 10 small businesses don't invest in any kind of marketing. The List Guys have over 35 plus list types to choose from, and you can mix and match any list or criteria. We also use the skip trace list and provide up to 7 numbers and email addresses. Every list you purchase will be scrubbed against previous purchases. The List Guys are here to save you time. Contact the List Guys today at www.1listguys.com. That's www.1listguys.com.
So definitely check us out. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you on episode 300 because we're coming.
Here's to another 100 episodes.